All right, hey, my name's Troy Ermish. I started racing here in the 90s. And came right to running late models in the late 90s, and then I ran the SRL for about 15 years. I did the SRL and the ARCA series, and then I went back to road racing. So I haven't raced here in probably, I think I ran here one time last year in a little Pro 4, just for fun, but the last time I raced here was in 2012, I think, in a late model.
So what brought you back? Was it the allure of the 75th season, the Night of Champions? What got you back out to Stockton?
Some of the guys that I've known that have been racing for 20, 30 years, they asked me if I wanted to drive the late model, and I've been wanting to get back into late models. I've been road racing for the last 8 or 9 years, and I've always wanted to come back and race stock cars. And so Bobby Smith, who owns the car, asked me if I wanted to come out and drive it. So it was a no-brainer. So we got it all serviced up. We did a little practice yesterday on some older tires, and we were all right. So here we are, and see how it goes.
We talked about practice last night. You're getting ready for another session today. Track's pretty hot. It's slick. How does that affect the handling on this race car so far?
Well, oddly enough, because I have pretty much no experience with this particular tire package, I guess I'll have to find out. I just know that they have a lot less grip. When I ran tour cars, that car was like 500 plus horsepower and 10-inch slick, and now we're on 300 horsepower and a treaded 8-inch tire. So I know grip level is going to be much lower, and I would expect a track being this hot that the car is going to be a little greasy.
Now, one thing you mentioned earlier is you did a lot of road racing. I'm curious as to whether any of the experience you have there translates.
No, just racecraft. That's about it. You know, just reading the track, reading your competitors, trying to decide what you want to do in situations, situational awareness, I guess. But that sort of racing, I'm racing in a Trans Am series and the TA2 cars, and they're more point and shoot, and you can't let them roll. And then these cars are much more on the let it roll for a little bit, you know, and then get back on. You get back on the power hard. So rolling on the power is something that I'll be trying to not do, knowing that it's down 200 or 300 horsepower to what I'm used to. If it's rolling good at the center, then I'm going to be able to get to the full power right away, instantly. And if it's hooked up, then that'll work.
Now, one thing you mentioned right there towards the beginning was the competitors, knowing your competitors. There is a stout field of drivers, a lot of former champions in the field. What's it going to take to get this machine up front and in the mix tonight?
Well, if I remember Stockton, if it races anything like it used to, if I still have all the fenders on it, I'll have a chance. That's all I can hope for. You know, first time I've driven the car, you know, we'll finish top 5, that'd be great. And just trying to keep it clean and race hard the last 25.
Now, a lot of drivers have told me anything can happen today. If you're up front, you have a shot. What would a $5,000 payday mean to you in this program?
It would help. It certainly help. You know, I was fortunate enough. Mike David had a bunch of extra time, so we took the car to his shop, and hopefully would cover my bill from last week.
Now, I wanted to ask you really quickly about your Trans Am and running the TA2 cars. Obviously, you're back at the late model this weekend, but where can the race fans at home find you next, and where would you like to be throughout the next couple of years?
More TA2 stuff. You know, TA2 is a pretty expensive series, so you know, I'd like an opportunity to run more late model stuff to fill in. The West Coast Series has 6 dates in the TA2 series. I do a lot of other vintage racing, and I build Datsun 510s, so I maintain a whole bunch of 510s. We travel a little up and down the West Coast and run all the road courses with all my customers that have Datsun 510s. So my website's ermishracing.com, and then my name is my Facebook page, and we post pictures of the cars that we're building. We do full restorations on street cars and race cars. And so I hope to maybe do some more late model racing over the course of the rest of this year, and then some more next year, and then more maybe next year, but continue with the TA2 program.
And who would you like to thank today?
Bob Smith, Bob Strandwell, who's I used to drive for. He's here spotting for me, and his brother Jeff, and then the rest of the guys from Bob's crew that have been helping him. Bob's been a little discouraged, and so he's given me opportunities. He's always told me, hey, if I'm ever in a position that you can drive one of my cars, I want you to drive one of my cars. And so that conversation started 10 years ago. So here we are 10 years later, and it's a good opportunity. It's a good car. It's a more modern Port City straight rail car. So I feel like I got a fighting chance.